It's ya boy, a literal sack of straw. What's up? This is Outlast. Sort of, it's Outlast according to my own brain meat memories. Let's go. So you play as an investigative journalist whose name is literally unimportant in every way to this story, so we'll call him Flurb. Flurb is checking out Mount Massive Asylum in response to a whistleblower's email about the crazy, inhumane, and evil experiments and practices going on here by the Meerkap Corporation. So naturally, my man's just hops through a window like it's his job. As you go through some offices, you encounter a Shishka bro warning you about the spooky asylum, which you then proceed to traipse through like you're not about to be beaten, thrown in, and have a few fingies chopped off, but we'll get there. Don't you worry your sweet little bippy boy. As mentioned, you're pretty much immediately thrown through some glass by this handsome chap whose name is Paul? I want to say Paul for some reason, but I'm really not sure, so I'm gonna call him Pig Daddy. You wake up surrounded by corpses, and more alarmingly, this guy, Father Archibald. Pretty sure, whatever. Poppy Archie takes you on as his witness and promptly abandons your ass, much like a real father. As Flurb tries to open the front doors to escape, he runs into touchy patients, awkwardly placed generators, Pig Daddy again, and watches TV with some bros. Just before he can open the doors though, Poppy drugs Flurb and introduces him to the wall writer with some poorly shot home prank video. Sidebar, comment what you think Poppy Archie smells like. I think it's ham and cheese with a little bit of sadness and shame. You then wake up in a cell, deep in the asylum jail. I don't know, man. Like I said, there's shady things happening in this joint, if you couldn't tell already by the skewered cop in the first 5 minutes. Pig Daddy is there waiting for some more journalist boy booty, but wait, there's more! You also now have what I can only describe as two hung orcs wanting a piece of the Flurby goodness as well. As you make your way to the sewers, you witness necrophilia, whatever the actual crap this is, the peen pals in full light, and copious amounts of dick butt-shaped blood splatters. I swear, they're there. I'm not crazy. I saw him. So Flurb finally gets to the sewers, where you can experience some more wall rider antics. Silly little rascal. At this point, you find some documents that explain how Merlamp Corp and Mount Massive have been rumored to take part in MKUltra experiments. If you don't know what that is, it's basically drug voodoo, as well as other less memorable things that point towards the wall rider being the source of everything suddenly going to all double-decker hecker. You also learn from these documents and the many screaming patients that the main doctor involved in the wall rider project is Dr. Vern Funk, who's kind of a zombie, but again, we'll get there, I promise. So you trudge through the sewers, seeing more and more horrible things, including Pig Daddy. After dark. Eventually, you're chased by a massive mamma-jamma mob of patients, only escaping because someone calls you into a dumbwaiter. This turns out to be a huge oopsie-doopsie because your savior is actually a psychotic salesperson, Dr. Traven? Whatever, let's go with Dr. Tay-Tay. So remember how I said he's a salesperson? I mean body parts. Who or how he's selling them, I honestly have no clue. I really only know 85% of this game, and I'm only like 60% certain he's selling them anyway. So Tay-Tay steals a few fingies and leaves you alone, of course meaning you escape. You find Poppy, and then he tells you that you need to go to the chapel to complete your apostle training and ascend to the rank of level 2, Messiah. Sure. Yeah. After some long Scooby-Doo-like chasing, you teach Tay-Tay about division using an elevator. Flurb manages to get to the magical world of outside, but of course this is met with more Pig Daddy pursuits and a surprise wall rider visit. Before getting to the chapel, you have to go through some other buildings that really don't matter but are so spooky they give Flurb a case of butter nubs. Get it? Because he's missing fingers, and this joke is probably too dark anyway. Moving on. Once in the chapel, you see a bunch of patients getting down with the good Lord, a PowerPoint on how Wall Rider works. Basically, it's a murder cloud made out of nightmares and psychosis. And Poppy going out in a literal blaze of glory as he reveals that this is the final horror that you must see to level up. Oh yeah, the orcs are there too, still no pants. Honestly, that's the way you want to live. I have no idea how you get access to the lower lab beneath Mount Massive. I feel like it's an elevator, but for all I know, it could be getting thrown through some more glass, so let's just move on and say you're there by a divine act of Poppy himself. By this point, you've probably found more documents explaining Dr. Vern Funk's life, including his Nazi roots, and the experiments he's been conducting with a young patient, Billy Hope. I remember his name because I was reading something specifically about him, and I remember that my cat sharded on me out of nowhere. So while I was cleaning myself and my bouncing baby kitty up, I was thinking, Billy Hope probably doesn't get sharded on. Billy Hope probably finds $20 on the street every day. Billy MF and Hope. It's not even his fault. He's a fictional character. I just had to put my frustrations out somewhere in the universe. Like, so it went to Billy Hope. Anyway, Billy Hope. So you find another chance at escaping through an open hangar, but uh-oh, the big bad Miss Skeleton cocks all that up for you, and you end up in another Scooby-Doo chase. Pig Daddy somehow stumbles his way into the underground facility and is about to really off you this time until the Wall Rider comes along and violently murderlates him through a vent. Like this scene in the original It series. A little jaunty walk through some abandoned science rooms later, and you come to face with the very much alive but incredibly ancient Dr. Nazi Funk, who explains point blank that the Wall Rider is not a demon, but a bunch of nanomachines that are, as previously stated, powered by a host, Billy Hope, who can control the Wall Rider through his lucid dream state. See, I wasn't lying. Nightmares and psychosis. Dr. Nazi Funk begs Flurb to cut Billy's life support, which, speaking of, holy hell did Billy get hot. Despite all the Matrix-like tubes and blank look of horror on his face. Is that messed up? I feel like that's messed up to say. Moving on. So we Kevorkian this poor guy, but the Wall Rider possesses Flurb in the process. Moments later, we open a door and oh, how the plots have twist. We see Old Beans himself with a large group of meerkat mercenaries who gun Flurb down with impunity, only to reveal that we have indeed seen enough horrors and have become the new hosts for the Wall Rider. The game ends with a fade to black and the sounds of the Wall Rider ripping guys apart all over again. Some final thoughts. Honestly, a great horror game. One of my favorites now. I rate it 8.5 thingies out of 10 plot holes. But the whole story could have been avoided if, like a sensible death-fearing person, Flurb just took the footage of a man impaled on a stick in the Mount Massive Library and left. Seriously, I'm pretty sure there's not a lot stopping you from just doing a 180 out of that joint and going back to your car. Like a guy dying brutally caught on camera would probably be more than enough for a warrant to shut this grab bag of nightmare fuel down. Instead, he did exactly none of what he intended to do and died anyway, even becoming the main protagonist. Seriously, the moral of this game is be a coward. Run away. You will get 100% more done in life. Also, don't trust ex-Nazis. That's a big one. Now, how accurate was I? Pretty close. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you click the buttons and tell YouTube you liked this video, or don't. I don't care. See you next time.